from PRX.
Hey everybody, this is Scoots, and this is a subscriber summer episode where on Sleep With Me Plus we're putting out like wild bonus episodes for subscriber summer. And here in the ad-supported podcast, we're revisiting old favorites. And this is a style episode we haven't done in a while called Real-Time Recipes. This is one from back almost, 800 episodes ago? 8 minus 5. Yeah, almost 800 episodes, 800 episodes ago. But if you like these episodes, please let me know about it. Like, think about joining Sleep With Me Plus and say, hey, I joined Sleep With Me Plus. I want you, to think about making more real-time recipe episodes. And we may be doing more in the future. We're working on finding ways to do that. But also, if you join Sleep With Me Plus, there's going to be bonus content related to this, like maybe me making this recipe. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I haven't done any of the bonus content yet. But it'll be probably some kind of video or pictorial. So another reason to join Sleep With Me Plus, be a part of our Discord community, because that's where a lot of that stuff goes. And without further ado, here's past Scoots. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, it's time for the podcaster this isn't like I said, geez, I could go for a salt lick. And I'm talking about one right out of the package, gerbil size. I was like, what am I going to do as the opening? And then another said, hey, I could go for a salt lick. Remember what those tasted like? Anyway, I did taste good. Please tell me it was a clean one. But it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast to put you to sleep. And that's it. Let's get on with the program. All right, everybody. I want to thank Claritin, tonight's sponsor, for supporting this episode and provide me with some samples. You know, I suffer from seasonal allergies. Not only do they get in the way of me living my life, they get in the way of me making this podcast to put you to sleep. Because when those allergies are really kicking in, I sound weird and I do not feel good at all. Luckily, for those of us who live with the symptoms of allergies, we can live Claritin Clear with Claritin D. The double action combination of prescription strength allergy medicine and the best decongestant available relieves sneezing, a runny nose, itchy and watery eyes, an itchy nose and throat, and sinus congestion and pressure with ease. And that's what I like about Claritin D. It covers all those bases. For me, I love the relief from the runny nose and the sinus pressure. Holy cow. Those two things combined, I'm like the worst two symptoms I have at the exact same time. So I love the relief Claritin brings. And I've been taking Claritin D this spring for this allergy season. And it's been a game changer because I can go out on my runs and on my trail runs and not have to worry about, am I going to be able to record the podcast tomorrow? Because my nose is running and my sinuses are clogged. Ready to live life as if you don't have allergies? It's time to live Claritin Clear. Fast and powerful relief is just a quick trip away. Find Claritin D at the pharmacy counter. Ask for Claritin D at your local pharmacy counter. You don't even need a prescription. Go to Claritin.com right now for a discount so you can live Claritin Clear. Use as directed. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it is time to talk about Helix. It's a mattress I sleep in, and you got to take the quiz, helixsleep.com/sleep. Once again, I just got back in town, and I could not wait to get back in my Helix. I slept there last night, and you could probably hear the energy in my voice because I slept good. And I'm not the only one in my family that loves my Helix. I know my nephew Dan, who listens to this podcast, loves his Helix. And there's plenty of options out there. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses. That includes the award-winning Luxe Collection, the Ultra Premium Elite Collections. There's the Helix Plus. That's a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers. There's the Helix Kids mattresses. But which one's going to be right for you? Well, here's how you find out. You take the Helix Sleep Quiz, and you'll find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. And Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new mattress. Everybody's unique. Everybody sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from. And way back when I took that Helix Sleep Quiz, I've been in a long-term relationship with my Helix mattress. I was looking for something. I sleep on my side. I sleep on my stomach. I don't want to get hot at night. and I got matched with the Helix Dusk. I picked the Dusk Luxe. I love this mattress. Every time I go out of town, I wish I could take this mattress with me. Not only is it the best mattress I've slept on, but the setup is fast and easy. Those Helix mattresses are delivered in a box straight to your door for free. And Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep. That's helixsleep.com/sleep. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. So take that quiz. Let me know what you get. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, Scoots here. We no longer have the Sleepy Supporter Zone. We're restructuring the podcast so it can be here for you twice a week. And so this is part of the show, too, now, where if you listen to Sleep With Me on a regular basis and you get something out of it, like it makes your life better. Does Sleep With Me make your life better or improve it anyway? Or even does Sleep With Me make bedtime more tolerable for you? That's really, the goal is to go above and beyond that. But does Sleep With Me even achieve that? Like say, well, bedtime's a lot less worse with you, Scoots. If the answer to that is yes, could you set an alarm right now? Just go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. If Sleep With Me has changed your life for the better, please rush over there. Set an alarm. Write a note to yourself right now. Set a reminder. Because not only will you ensure Sleep With Me is there for you, but other people as well who cannot afford to support the show and rely on it. But here's the other thing. You don't want to miss out on Subscriber Summer, so test out Sleep With Me Plus. Get signed up so you get all those extras that are coming there for Subscriber Summer. We're doing another summer of really special stuff, and you can get all that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Check it out and let me know what you think. That's the first part of this new structure we're going to do here. Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on that on this show. This show, that show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Lich. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the mystery bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Oh, thanks, Mystery Bard. And here's one more thing. This month, we're part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser benefiting the Trevor Project. You're going to hear a couple special episodes in June. So please support the Trevor Project. Use the link in our show notes. You can join the auction. You could contribute directly. And if you do donate more than $100, let me know about it so I can send you a pressed penny from Ray. And what do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to put you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to do is create a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts, things you're thinking about, something you're physically feeling or dealing with, anything emotional that's coming up. Those are things that could to get in the way of sleep. I almost said messing it, but I don't know. That's messing it up. That's a little harsh. But like it could be outside noises, could be a snoring partner, or just whatever's keeping you awake. Whether it's some of that stuff or something you're dealing with that maybe I haven't experienced. I'm pretty sure I can relate, and that's why I make this podcast, because I've been there, and that's why I send my voice across the deep, dark night. That's why I work so hard to create a safe place where you feel welcome, where I don't know if I do anything necessarily, but ideally you feel treated with dignity and respect, because they say, hey, come on in. I'm glad you're here, and I really hope I can help you fall asleep. That's what I say at the end of the intro. But I am glad you're here, because if you're like there's like, I don't know how many people are into like not fantasy, there's a lot of I talk about fan fiction that I've been working on a lot. And then the fantasy genre of fiction, that's like Game of Thrones would be an example of that. And then there's also a podcast called Magic Tavern. Of course, my brain's screwing it up. I want to say it's Tales from the Magic Tavern. And, I always mess it. But anyway, like all these things, they feature these inns, like INN, like an inn. It's always nighttime, it feels like, at these inns when you see them. You don't see them very often in the day, but because in the night they got the candles and the fireplace and the ale, and there's bowls, usually stew. I think usually they serve a lot of stew, and then maybe like some sort of there's roasting going on. And it's warm, and you're supposed to close the door when you go in. I think you're supposed to shuffle your feet. And then it depends on the plot, what you would do next. I always wonder, maybe I'll do a podcast one day from the life of an NPC, non-player character. They don't really get any, maybe, like they don't get enough props, what happens when they go in the end? No, like, it's not like Cheers where everybody knows their name. They say, what are you, you're just supposed to reveal a part of the plot, aren't you? And I say, no, I'm just there. Yeah, I'm supposed to tell you to go dig in the hay for the key, to Meister Flynn's barn, where you'll find the missing egg that you have to trade, that whole thing. If that's a game, and that's not usually in fiction. And I guess that's a long-winded way of saying the spirit of the fantasy inn. No, don't get that wrong with that kind of fantasy inn. Or Fantasy Island. Now I'm starting to write fantasy fiction. The Fantasy Inn, where fantasy fiction takes place. I don't know. Maybe I'll work on that one in 2030. But anyway, just way off time. If you're new here, welcome. Podcast is a little bit, I just went off the rails. There are rails in this podcast. But they're the rubber rails, instead of being like those iron rails that you see on train tracks or whatever the heck they're made out of, steel, iron, hard stuff. These rails are made from, they're rubbery rails, and they've been in the sun. They're warped and rubbery, and they've been in the sun, weather worn. And of course, I installed the rails, and I'm not, I'm no craftsman. I mean, like, when you see, like, Drew or Scooter, the two people behind this podcast that both occupy a space within me, if you've ever stopped, like, you'll never see either one of us in the same sentence as bespoke or unless it's broke. Like, I broke something bespoke. I'm just not a I can craft walls, but those are more, smushing and smoshing than crafting. What was I saying? So if you're new here, welcome. This podcast is a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake. I send my voice across the deep, dark night. Use these creaky, dulcet tones. The rubbery rails of something. I wish I could, rhyme with my rhyming rubbery rails of, where I craft the, feel of an inn. Without, for just the non-player characters, between the action, where there's a lot of thumb twiddling, eating, mostly just people are in there eating, like discussing regular matters. Well, how's things down at the barn? Well, not bad. That kid took that egg that was hidden. No, your barn had the key. Yeah, how'd that key get in the hay? Well, that soldier fell asleep with it, you remember? Oh, that's right. Anyway, this is the best. I'm going to dip some bread, and that would be the most boring in the world, and it can't, but it's warm. And most importantly, when I start the podcast out, I want it to feel inviting. Like I said, you see these inns at night, and they're inviting. They exude warmth and warm light. And they're a place where, those of you that, like, I don't know what I would drink at an inn because I don't know what they serve for people like me that can't drink anymore. And I don't think, as much as they say the inn is inviting, I don't think I would just drink straight water. I guess I'd have a tea because that would be boiled. Bring me a flagon of your finest water. Don't do that. Bring me a flagon of your finest water after you've put boiled water in the flagon to clean it, then boiled the water, covered it, and then serve it to me at room temperature. That's a dream. Nothing like room temperature water. Never mind. I guess I just will bring my own. Because no, thank you. I don't want any milk either from your inn. What would I drink at an inn? This is a good question. Because they definitely don't have sparkling water, so that's out. And iced tea, I guess a cold tea, they don't have ice, Scoots. Good. Glad you, thanks for pointing that out. I guess it would be tea, because I don't think they had coffee either, but I don't think in the fantasy books, maybe they do. I'd like a coffee, depending on the time of day. And they said the person would be like, are you still talking? We have ale, and I say, okay, I guess... They say, can't do, I guess I'll just drink my stew, the water, exactly. Okay, great. Believe it or not, I'm in the middle of a podcast intro. Sorry about that. So this podcast is supposed to be inviting like an inn before I start talking too much. And if you're new here, the way the structure of the show works is we have like a little business section at the beginning that keeps the lights on. And let's just do some promotion and stuff. That takes about 5 minutes. Then we're about 9 minutes into this intro. And usually our intros are somewhere around 12, 14 minutes. And they're kind of like a show within themselves where I show, what shouldn't be told. Or, I can't say, what do you, and I can't shake it. Sometimes my brain that's one of the things with these rubbery rails. They're in my brain. That's how I designed them. The exterior ones that run the podcast, but they also run my brain, these rubbery rails, and they won't let go of, my brain's not done. It said, well, really, if we find ourselves in an inn, what are we going to drink? Because I guess I got to be honest with you listeners, because you're here, you give me, I don't think I want tea. Now, modern teas, I don't know. And that's the kind of discussions that I'm here to distract you from. When you lie down, if it's suddenly an internal debate crops up, they say, well, whoa. And then you say, well, you've got to, you have appearances to keep up. You can't just go into an inn and not know what you're going to order. I say, wow, that's a lot of pressure for something that doesn't exist on this planet except in fiction. And so I don't see you say, well, okay, that's your life. If you wanted to live it that way, I guess you don't know what, clearly, if you end up, I'm just saying, what if George R. Martin calls or Weiss and Benioff and they say, well, we built an inn and we'd like to have a meeting with you there. What are you going to order then? I don't know. I guess I'd have more to worry. I guess I'd have other things. Is that what I'd be? Yeah, of course, that's what I'd have you worry about. I wouldn't have. Okay, anyway, I got to get back to this podcast intro, but that's the kind of stuff that can keep me up at night. And that's one of the reasons I make this show, to take your mind off of whatever it is that's keeping you awake. So you don't need to take me seriously. That part should be clear. I still can barely get through. I'm barely going to be able to make it through the end of this intro. My brain won't. Lemonade. Do you have lemonade here? No, you don't know what a lemon is. Terrific. I'm still at this inn. Because it's so warm and inviting, just like this podcast. I will try to get out. Are you sure you don't have any lemons? I could show you how to make lemonade. No. Okay. There's no citrus in this region, they just said. Oh boy, they said something about the wizard that lives up on the mountain in Citrus. So it could be, I better close this intro out. So I'm glad you're here. You're under no pressure to fall asleep. I'll be here for about an hour to keep you company. So I'll be meandering and giving it my all the whole time. But you also don't need to listen or pay attention. You can just kick back and relax. I'll be here to take your mind off stuff, to keep you company, to say, well, at least I don't got Scoots' problems. Or, just make you lightly guffaw. And if you're new, this podcast, it takes a couple times to get an idea if you, you should know right away if you dislike it. And, don't put too much pressure. Like I said, you're under no pressure to fall asleep. So the podcast at the same time shouldn't, it's a no pressure situation. Unlike this situation that's somewhere in some part of my brain still being carried out. So give it a few tries. If you're skeptical, I can't even freaking order something in an imaginary inn that's within my brain. So you don't need to take me seriously. You should be skeptical. But I've been there in the deep, dark night. And that's why I do this. And that's why every episode I say, I'm glad you're here. And I really hope and I really yearn to help you fall asleep. And thanks for stopping by. Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Hey, so good to see you. It's are you ready to do some shopping pretty soon? Yeah, what's the occasion? Well, the occasion is either I don't know. Is it upcoming Super Bowl Sunday or the recently passed Super Bowl Sunday? It's that occasion, whichever it may be. Because I have some super sandwiches, one of which was named accidentally. I call it the Lich, Lich, which is kind of a play on the. I think that's a Korean, I guess maybe you don't want to think about it. So, I think that's a name from, that would be they would talk about adding in. But I thought we'd cook up 2 sandwiches and something to drink. Because I don't know if do you listen to my podcast? Sometimes. We're friends, you really, sometimes. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make it, you can't. I know you didn't mean to hurt. It doesn't hurt. No, it doesn't hurt. It just looks like it on my face and my body language that it hurts. I mean, I do know I put out 3 episodes a week. I don't expect you to listen. I just I'm sorry. That's a lot of pressure. Because you're construct. I thought you'd listen to every episode for some reason. You don't have to. I know. I'll get over this. Yeah, that's the pain you see on my face, a growing pain. Growing used to that. My friend doesn't listen to every podcast episode. I know, they're not, every episode isn't for everybody. But do you listen to the intro that just took place? That was my question. Because they said if I was in an inn, in a fantasy tale, no, I don't know, that word has for me, it has too many meanings, but, in a Dragonlance style story, or Dragonlance is sometimes a little too bright. I think, I don't know but in you know what I mean? In a D&D game, if I was in an inn, I don't know what I would order to drink. So I thought we'd make a drink that has a kind of certain connotation for me. And then in honor of Super Bowl Sunday, it's pending or posting. I thought we'd make 2 sandwiches that I affiliate. I did make it once for Super Bowl Sunday. one of the sandwiches, and then one I just invented, the Lich, Lich, I think, the Lich sandwich I just invented. It's a riff. It's more of a riff than an invention on this other sandwich. So are you ready to go? Is there anything you should know about Trader Joe? No, since the last we talked, nothing new at Trader Joe's. I mean, I guess I say, geez, am I growing? Like last episode, I said, can I be attracted without a crush? And I say, yes, because that's what's still happening. I say, well, that person is attractive. And then, can I feel attractive? Let's just not go. Can we just not go there, please? I'd rather not talk about that. I know we have to talk about something awkward. It just makes the time fly by for you, I know, but I don't have a crush. Not even in okay, there's one thing, but it'll be when we're in the meat section. Yes, I believe something. Yes, it's embarrassing. Of course it is. Do you want me to spoil? I guess I don't need to spoil it because I'm involved, so you already know how to. Let's fly by the Magic Podcast to Trader Joe's. Oh, before we go in, let's see. I got a list of things. So like this time I tried to write it down. We need some iced tea, lemons, limes, sugar, iced tea, pretzel bagels, paper towels, eggs, cheddar, Swiss, pastrami, mayo, coleslaw, pumpernickel, bacon and bacon ends, potato pancakes, hash browns. I think that's everything. Something tells me we should buy some coleslaw, but I don't know why. Oh, no, that's what that says, coleslaw on the list. That's why the list. I was thinking of sauerkraut, though. So let's grab a cart and take a right. And, oh, you want to get to the embarrassing stuff right away? No, we got to tease it out. It doesn't work as good when we just do it. Anyway, we do need to use the magic of podcasting to make some coleslaw appear, a traditional coleslaw. And I know you can make coleslaw, and there's like all these new style slaws, which I do like, the idea of like a broccoli slaw. But for this particular recipe, we do kind of need the mayo-based old-fashioned carrot and cabbage slaw, which is right there, because I've actually never seen it at Trader Joe's. But look at that, must be the spirit of slaw just made that. So grab that. And then I don't even know if we need anything else healthy. You just coleslaw, which I think is faux healthy. And then we're going to go here, and right up here on the right is their luncheon. Did they still call these luncheon meats or deli meat? I think when did it become deli meat? And yeah, this is one thing I wouldn't normally buy here at Trader Joe's. I mean, other than lunch, turkey for lunch. But we're going to get this pastrami here. And no, I haven't had it. And yes, it is I am a fan of Trader Joe's, but I am not a Pollyanna. I don't know what Pollyanna means. I just know how to use it in a sentence. I would assume Pollyanna's like someone that loves everything. But anyway, let's not you're pretty sure I am a Pollyanna for Trader Joe's? No, because I don't. I would only, if I had my druthers, I would only buy boar's head, luncheon meats or pastrami. I prefer to buy it from someplace, that's making the pastrami that day. But, this will be masked by so many layers of things. Okay, so we're going to get the pastrami. Then right here are the cheeses. I decided we're going to get the slices of sharp cheddar. Oh, yeah, and then Swiss. No, don't get the light Swiss. I don't know what the difference is, but I want full Swiss. Okay, so we have all that, and then the meat section's coming up. I know I told you I'll meet you back. Yeah, meet you back at the meat. You grab those bacon ends, the Trader Joe's bacon ends. And it's a roll of the dice. The last thing of bacon ends I got was like a 10 out of 10. It must have been some sort of smoked high-end bacon that they chopped the ends off of. I'm going to just go across the way here and get pretzel bagels. Yes, I love pretzel bagels. I do. You're right. And then I'll tell you the story because it happened right here at the meat section. Again, what happened? I guess we got to talk about it now. Okay, it just happened within the last since I last saw you, right here. Yes, I did. So this was I did this one. I blew big time. I blew it. So I was standing here. Well, first, no. I did one of those ones where I came in and I said they had an eye contact situation. Maybe first like a glance situation where I said, oh, holy ponytail. And then there was an eye contact situation, and then, a brief assessment. And then, I did have, I did say that this is a healthy attraction I'm feeling. And then I said, yes, I did snuff out, I blew out the candle of attractive hope, or whatever you want to call it, whatever, I don't know, which metaphor you want to use. And I said, well, that's good. That was nice. Let's just blow that out. You're correct. And then I got over here to the meat, and I still maybe I think maybe it was I don't want it to, why do we have to talk about this in meat? Because it's too metaphor rich. Okay, well, there was a brief side-by-side meat inspection, and I was looking at this pork roast, and then she had it off, but then it was a rethinking. I knew it was like I was frozen. Okay. Then, yeah, she came back to the meat thing, looked at the meat in my hand. I know that's all, but this is true. This is what happened. Looked at me, and then maybe looked at the look on my, looked at the roast I was holding. Looked at me, waiting for me to say something, waiting uncomfortably long. It then saw the look of, you probably misread the look of, the frozen look in my face, my slack jaw, the different, flying things flying in and out, all my fillings, of course. But I'm not self-conscious about that, but just with my slack jaw. And then even then futzed around with some of them, it was still one more say, okay, I'll give you one more chance to talk to me. No, I didn't say anything. I did say, contemplate asking a question about what I was holding in my hand. I don't know what happened. I guess scared. Uncomfortably wrong. The only thing missing was, are you going to talk to me? But that the look said every. I mean, I think I had one more chance in the frozen food, but then then it's just that's when then it's awkward, where I probably reproject something onto her, and then she says, "Well, this person's I don't know what their problem was." So yeah, totally blew it. I was holding the roast in my hand. I even had, it was a bacon wrapped roast. I could have easily talked about it or asked questions. I guess there was there was a turning. It went from facing the meat to turning to me and facing my roast. How was I holding the roast? Was I holding it? No, I don't know where I was holding it. Probably at waist level and maybe at chest level for protection. No, probably never again. I mean, it wasn't a crush though. No, not even like a post crush. I guess because it was totally. I guess it wasn't burned in my mind. I mean, other now that we're recapping it, my inability. I don't know what this happens to me where you say, well, geez, you got a podcast. You could talk boring for hours. Can't you talk about something interesting for 1 second? No, can't do it. So that was that situation. So we got that out of the way. Thanks. So we have pretzel bagels. We have bacon ends. Now we're going to grab a dozen eggs. You might want 2 dozen if you're having a Superbowl party. And we're going to need this dark rye over here, pumpernickel. Now it's again... I would buy this from somewhere else, but under the circumstances, this is what we're going to use. I don't know. I would prefer my pumpernickel or rye to be a little bit fresher and a little bit thicker. And like, it'd probably get at the same place of, we'd get the pastrami. And, the Bay Area, you'd probably have to drive, I think, to a kosher deli in Oakland, maybe, or to some other place that specializes in pastrami. I can't think of, I can't think of any place that's making their own pastrami in a real way on a daily basis, or, corned beef, yeah. Okay, so we have the eggs and the cheddar. And we don't really need anything. Oh boy, yep, I messed up. We got to go back and get some lemons and limes. Now you're going to notice here, I don't know if this is a universal thing. Lemons cost 3 times as much as limes. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, no offense to the lemon. And maybe it was because I didn't eat a lot of limes as a kid, but lime feels, we're going to buy 6 of each. Yeah, great. In the bag of lemons, you're swift. They are cheaper. Okay, then we're going to head down this aisle, grab those paper towels. We definitely need paper towels. Unfortunately, we're going to waste paper. Not too much, but we will. And then we're going to grab sugar here. We're going to grab the refined sugar. You can grab the other kinds, but in this case, I would go on the assumption you have super refined sugar at home from a regular supermarket. But we'll buy some here because it's still good sugar to have around. Just a little spendy to get refined sugar here when you're not getting a full pound. I don't know. Maybe that is pound. I don't know. Or maybe you get 2.5 pounds at the grocery store. I don't know. It is cane sugar. That's nice. And then down here, we'll grab some mayo. And I realize mayo is a divisive thing. Holy cow, we forgot the most important ingredients back at the frozen food aisle. Good thing I made a list. I'll have to start doing this every single time. So we'll grab the mayo. And I realize mayo's divisive, like I was saying. Yeah, but you need it. I guess, and I don't know if it's from eating breakfast sandwiches in New York City. Did they have mayo? I think they did. An egg and cheese sandwich. But I like having mayo on my breakfast sandwich. And I know that's not for everybody, so that's why you buy it, and then you don't have to put it on. I think I've told you this. I didn't have mayo till I was 20, somewhere between 20 and 22. I think in Florida. It was first Dijonnaise was my first foray, which I think was like mayonnaise and Dijon mustard combined into a spread. It was in Florida. It was with my friend Pat and Marnie, Rick, and Chris. I think that was everybody that was there. Maybe a couple other people, but maybe my friend Charlie. But yeah, we ate a lot of turkey sandwiches that we were out crashing somewhere, and that's what we subsisted on. And, so what do you call it? The Dijonnaise. So and then I said, wow, I like mayonnaise now. Yeah, maybe that was hype. I guess. Okay, so we have mayonnaise. Now we got to go back to frozen foods. Now these are our primary flashy ingredients for our 2 different sandwiches. And these are both a refinement on the sandwiches we're going to make. And we're going to get a thing of those hash browns, the frozen hash browns, just like you get at the Mickey D's. Yeah, those those square, ovular ones, exactly. And then no offense to those are great. But this is the pièce de résistance, as they say. And I don't know how to pronounce potato pancakes, which play a big role in my life. And these are, there's different types of potato pancakes. These are latkes, I think you call them. And I'm probably saying that wrong, but we're going to grab those. Those are the PAs, whatever. This is the ingredient that's going to make all the difference, but you're going to have a hash brown option. What are we making? We're making 2 sandwiches. We're making a Lich sandwich, which I just invented, and then we're making a Panini's style sandwich. Let's get in the checkout. I'll tell you more. No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. What is it? I don't know. I don't think I saw her in the checkout. It was over. I had my chance, and Well, I did have a chance to start a conversation with another human being. Now, I guess one way to look at it is I don't start conversations with people I'm attracted to or not attracted to. So that's a positive spin on it. It's like anyone else in the meat section, I'm not going to talk to them either. Unless they're commenting on my singing. Yeah, but then that's not a conversation usually. Like then what I do is if I'm singing, they'll say, "Oh, were you singing?" And then I'll say, no, I don't say anything like that. I usually pause and then I repeat. So let's say I was singing like Deck the Halls, like it will usually be pop music now, I think. So then if it's 24 karat magic in the air, like they'd say, oh, and then then I'd pause and then 2 beats and then I'd repeat no matter where I was in the song, I'd go back to the hook and make eye contact with them and then leave them on the hook and then sing and drift off. Well, what would I say? Here's my meat roast, meat roasting some pork. Like, no, that wouldn't work. Because it'd be no okay. I just don't talk to people like straight. It doesn't matter. Like, so I guess I shouldn't feel embarrassed that I can't talk to anybody. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was some interspecial, whatever. We're the same species, but like there was we had a yin and yang going or whatever, and I didn't say anything, and maybe there was an opportunity. I don't want to fixate on this. I know. Okay, so we're here. Okay, so we're checking out. Oh, back to the same. So one of these sandwiches is based on Panini's restaurant in Cleveland, Ohio. And I've spent a lot of time in Cleveland, Ohio. That's where Sophia's mom, Natalie's from. And so we spent a lot of time there. And we had a lot of good sandwiches at Panini's. And it's usually like a bar with like a sandwich shop, but it's usually best like late at night. And they have a version. I think I think it's called a Pittsburgh. I think these originated in Pittsburgh, but I'm not positive because there's Giordano Brothers in the Bay Area, and they make the same sandwich. But it's like a heavily piled sandwich. Now at those places, I think it's bread, and you get to choose your bread, your meat, and your cheese, I believe. But it's usually bread, like ideally a rye or a pumpernickel, in my opinion, then a cheese. Then a luncheon meat, and then an egg, then fries, French fries, coleslaw, and cheese. I think I said cheese, and all that together, and it is delicious. And there are these giant, messy sandwiches, that at 1, 2, 3 in the morning you wolf down, and they probably help you keep, absorb everything in your stomach, and it feels good to eat it. And it's just a good way to cap the night off, or at least in my opinion. I loved going there. And it's been a while since I've been to Giordano Brothers in the Bay Area. I don't know if I'd go back. I can make them at home now, and then because I associate it, yeah. I don't know if at lunchtime what a sandwich with like this would be. Pretty intense. Oh, look at that. We're back in my apartment without even checking. The miracle of podcasting, the magic of podcasting. We're here at home. And it didn't cost me anything but $100 in my dignity. Thanks. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it's just that it really happened, but most people think that I'm joking, that these type of things don't really happen to me. And that it doesn't have, yeah, but yeah, it's fine. It happened. Well, that's the thing. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I can't learn, like you say, live and learn. And people say, oh, that's okay. Next time you'll get them chipper, chin up. Next time you're holding a meaty roast and they say, no, the next time I won't. I just, anyway, we have a lot of cooking to do. I'm glad you care about me. Yes, it's not self-esteem based. It's just, I think it's some sort of visceral reaction. Well, no, maybe it brings me some pleasure. Oh, it's so pleasurable, yes. And look at the material I get out of it, to be able to, solidify our friendship. And for the audience to think that didn't really, like the Worcestershire thing, that one, they don't think it was real either. And I'm sure they'll say the pork roast. It's holding it, yeah. Just so, anyway, not important. I don't think the person would ever listen to the podcast, and I don't think so. Anyway, so we got a lot to do. So the first thing we're going to do is open those bacon bits and start pulling them apart. I'm going to heat the cast iron, whatever this thing's called, big, it's a pot pan. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, this is the one I use. This is Loge. It's a Dutch oven. Like, you can use this big pot, and then you can put the skillet on top as the thing. So it's two pans that become one. But in this case, we're just using the deep one to cook the bacon in. And because this is like a Super Bowl party, we're going to do some prep. So we're going to cook the bacon, and I want you to take the pretzel bagels and cut them all in half and then reassemble them, because we don't want to separate them like they're socks or something. Okay, so great job on the pretzel bagels. And now the next thing I need you to do is start juicing, or squeeze, not a juicer, but squeezing. I got the OXO squeezer. And I don't know, I like that. I think I broke one of these ones. I did. I think I did send it back. I think they're one of those companies that say, just send it to us and we'll send you a new one. I know I did that with something once. But so juice those until we have a cup of, just juice a lime, then juice a lemon until we have a cup of lime and lemon juice. And then what are we going to do? So I'm going to take this cup and I'm going to measure 2 cups of sugar, like loosely. I usually go a little bit over. Yeah, because this is a cup, so I just, I'm not going to go under a cup, but I'm not going to go massively over a cup either. And I'm going to put them in this pot, and then I'm going to put a cup of water in there. Yeah, we're making a lemon lime simple syrup. Okay, so then you're going to put a lime juice. Now I want you to shave some, I don't have a microplaner because I have the cheese grater, you just on the thin side of the cheese grater, start grating a little lime and lemon peel. And we're going to throw that in there. Great job. And then we're going to set that to slowly boil. And then remember that whole slotted spoon thing versus a spoon with the holes in it? Yeah, use that to stir it as it cooks up. We're going to liquidate the sugar, whatever they call it. And the bacon is cooking too. And then, just take the top off the coleslaw, put a spoon in there. And then, open the pastrami and put it nearby. We're going to use that at some point. And if you want to preheat the oven for me, that would be wonderful. Well, I don't have a toaster, so we're going to toast in the broiler on my oven. So that's why we're heating it up, And then we won't toast the bread. We'll toast the bagels because we're going to make 2 different style sandwiches. And then, if you want to open up the potato pancakes and the hash browns, they should stay frozen, but we're going to use them soon enough that they'll be nice and frozen when we use them. But let's keep an eye on this bacon here. Let's keep turning the bacon. You're so good at that. Yeah, you are good at the turning of the bacon. Like a bacon wrapped roast. I feel like a bacon wrapped roast right about now. And so, let's see. So we got our bagels, we got our bread, coleslaw, we got our potato starch thingamajig. We got our pastrami ready to go, and then we have the eggs ready to go. Okay, looks like that's just the sugar citrus thing is just the simple syrup is starting to boil. So just turn that down a little. I don't know what I'm doing. I just always read the first 3 steps of an ingredients, never a recipe. They call those recipes, huh? Yeah, so stir that. What we're going to make is, did we buy iced tea? We didn't. I knew we missed something on my list. That's okay. I keep iced tea in the cupboard here. Now we're going to make a little drink called the iced teaser, and we're going to need the miracle of podcasting anyway to make it, but I think I talked about it. Trader Joe's has 2 iced teas that I mix together because I can't take either one. Unsweetened, normally unsweetened iced tea, yeah. Yeah, they have this mint in, I think it has a hint of a mint with green tea and white tea. And then they have that tea java or whatever they call it, black iced tea. And so in my water bottle or whatever, drinking thermos type bottle for work, I do half black tea and then half of the green white tea. Yeah, that's what I drink. Yeah. I guess I don't know if it affects my sleep. I was talking about, I think as long as I don't drink it after 2:00. I don't know. I don't know if my water bottle's 64 ounces or 32, but I drink it all for most of the time. Yeah, so now that that's boiling, we're going to move this simple syrup to the side and let it cool. And then once it's cool, we'll put it into a jar. And but by the miracle of podcasting, I have the exact same jar of simple syrup in my fridge. So yes, I cheated. I guess I cheated. Yeah. I mean, you could call me Rachel Ray. She's from Buffalo, I think. So she would eat these sandwiches. She would promote them. I don't think it has nice alliteration, but I don't think I'm a Rachel. That's not a good or a bad thing. I just don't see myself as a Rachel. Yeah, she would talk to somebody in the meet. So she seems much more. Anyway, we got to focus because so that bacon. Okay, we're gonna put it on paper towels on my skillet here. Why on the skillet? I guess it's a griddle. You're right. It's a griddle. It's a cast iron griddle. Because it's going to, what's going to happen is some of the bacon drippings are going to leak through the paper towel onto the griddle. Then we don't have to oil the griddle. Yeah. So we're wasting paper towels, but we're saving oil. Thank goodness. Correct? Right. Okay. So what was I saying? I don't know what I was talking about. Okay. So yeah, let's get the bacon spread out on there. And we're going to keep the oil. Now, this is a tough one. Oil's it's tough business, right? And the nice thing is the oven's on. So put a cookie sheet in the oven. Yeah, the only cookie sheet I have. And then we're going to let's do the hash browns first because they're a little bit thicker. And you got to watch the temperature, but it's tough. I guess I could take the temperature. I wouldn't know what temperature it should be, though. But we're going to cook the hash browns. I know we don't want to overcrowd it because we don't want to bring the temperature down too much of the oil. So just 2 hash browns at a time. And then, we'll cook them, then you flip them, and then we'll put them in the oven. And then we'll do 2 of the potato pancakes. Okay, yeah, we are looking good. And then I'm going to start frying some eggs on here. And I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of oil, and then I'm going to rub the paper towel right on here. And then I'm going to start frying eggs. Yeah, so I'm going to fry these eggs here. Correct, yeah. And we're going to get, I always prefer, I think you could, like most people would probably prefer their egg with a little bit of a run I think most people would prefer their egg with a little bit of a runniness in the yolk. But yeah, we're going to fry those. Yeah, you take care of the potatoes. I'll take care of the eggs. In the pastrami, I'm going to fry a little bit. And then we're also going to start toasting the bagels, and then we're going to melt the cheese on the bagels too. So, yeah. For the pastrami ones, what we'll do, I think what they did at Panini's somehow is like when they were frying the egg and the meat, they stacked it all with the cheese. I think they're a restaurant, but we'll get it done. And then, yeah, we'll make an iced teaser, which the iced teaser is just, we're going to take the iced tea, we're going to put it in a cup, we're going to put a splash of our simple syrup in there. And these are shaker cups. So then you're going to shake it up and taste it. It tastes like a lemon. It's like a whatever, a Nelson Palmer, whatever they call that. They used to serve it at the New York State Fair, and I never could, when I was a kid, I don't think I could afford it. It was like Arnold Palmer, yeah, but it was like $3 or $4. And as a kid, I think I got to go to the fair if I had like $10 or $20 to my name. And it was full of ice, so it was like, and you didn't get a free refill. And I drink beverages like there's nothing. So I remember the one time I paid for it, I was very unhappy. It does come with half a lemon in there. But yeah, that's our iced teaser. And you put it with, we'll serve it with ice. Yeah, that makes sense. You're right. Otherwise, it would be ice. It's still iced teaser because it's iced tea and it's teasing you because it's so good. I should have said that in the meat section. Well, I wish the meat, let's not, okay. And okay, so things are looking good here. Our potatoes. Now, I got to tell you about these potato pancakes have onion in them. So these are more of a latke or whatever than a potato pancake where they have extra stuff. You know, it adds so much. I mean, I don't want to, again, shame the hash browns because hash browns are great. This just has extra oomph, you know, zazoom. And couldn't have said that either. Don't worry about what I should have said. Believe me, I say that that's the story of my life. Okay, so we're going to start assembling these things. Do we have guests coming? We may, but let's get the sandwiches ready. No, because I don't know who did the Super Bowl shuffle. I mean, we could do the Super Bowl shuffle, but no, I didn't invite anybody from the Super Bowl shuffle. I invited Bronson Pinchot, but I think I said, but I don't know if I said his name correctly. And I said, can you bring Larry? I said, do you keep in touch with cousin Larry? And, you know, most people don't think it's funny when they think I'm doing it on purpose when I forget people's names. So they're not coming. So Emo Phillips is coming instead. Yeah, Emo Phillips, you're a great comedian from my childhood. Yeah, and Rich Hall, everybody from Not Necessarily the News, Stuart Pankin, Rich Hall, Ian Bloom, Lucy Webb. You know, you don't know what Not Necessarily the News is. Well, maybe you weren't watching adult shows when you were in second grade like I was. Anyway, it's not important. They're wonderful people, and they love sandwiches. So, let's just concentrate on the sandwiches. What do they feel about roast? I don't know. I always tell people, you see, if you have dietary restrictions, that's why it can only get certain guests to come by and eat with me. Yes, I did have to apologize to Stuart Pankin for saying something all I said was I saw him in an infomercial. Anyway, I think, okay, I just got a text. Rich Hall's the only one coming now. Great job. That means Helen, St. Thomas, and Frosty aren't coming because with Bob Charles or whatever would he say? Stuart Pankin is something. Yeah, that's fine. It's not really fine. Oh, wait, Rich Hall's with Conan O'Brien, Greg Daniels, and Andy Richter. Wow. Rich Hall is so cool looking. Rich Hall, you are, can I call it, do you go by Rich Hall or Rich? Hey, you're one of my childhood heroes. Anyway, holy cow, there's power in this room. Andy, no offense to everybody else. I think I retweet, you're the most retweeted person, the person I retweet the most. Yeah, maybe a couple other people too. Well, it's great to see everybody. Do you love sandwiches? Do you love, yeah, so anyway, yeah, go out, have yourself, Rich Hall's going to recreate sniglets for that, yeah. Well, can you do your routine? Yeah, Rich Hall, do it about this iced teaser lemonade, Rich. Do some sniglets for everybody outside. I can't believe Greg Daniels, Conan O'Brien, and Rich Hall, of course. Yeah. Better than better than conquering my fears. Yeah, imagine having great imaginary guests. I mean, it would have been nice, cousin Larry, if I could remember. But I blew that, not knowing his name. You're right. Okay, so let's finish this out. So let's do the. So here's let's get the bagels ready. So we're gonna put the bacon on here, then the potato pancakes, then the egg. Then we'll serve them open face so that if people want to add mayo, they can. Oh, thanks, Andy. I knew Andy's going to carry the plates out. So these are the Lich sandwiches. So let me make sure I have everything before you take them out. Egg, potato pancake, bacon, cheddar is melted on there. And, okay, Rich Hall's making, okay, well, I'll make Rich Hall's own, I'll make the crust cut off. Okay. Anyway, so that's the Lich sandwich, and then we're going to make the panini style one next, okay? So the panini one, oh, you want to watch, Andy? Okay, so the panini one, it's a panini sandwich. You're familiar, Ben. Great. So we're going to take the pumpernickel, and then, Andy, can you find out if anybody doesn't eat mayo? Joel doesn't eat mayo, okay. Yeah. So we're going to put the mayo on of everyone's, except for his. And then, I guess, I don't know. I haven't put, let's go with the cheese, and then I forgot to melt the cheese, but we could do that in the broiler. And, there's ones in there, Miracle Podcast, and then we'll put the egg and the pastrami, and then the hash browns, and then coleslaw. So I guess that didn't need mayo. I overdid that. And I think that's everything. Eggs, cheese, and then put the top on. Yeah, that's good. Go ahead and take a bite, Andy. Holy moly, that is, yeah. The crunch of the coleslaw does make it. You're right. And the hash brown, yeah, and normally they would have fries, but a human house, it's tough to make fries that are at that level. And yeah, there with the iced teaser. This one's just a bit my take on a panini sandwich. Just easier to do. The hash brown is more like in a home environment versus trying to make home French fries. And then I guess I'm going to make rich PBP, pumpernickel peanut butter and jelly, PPJ or whatever. Do you have a sniglet for that, Rich? Okay, tell it to Greg and Conan. That'd be great. Just tell them all about that. Oh, you brought did you bring me a collection of sniglets? You brought all the books? For sale. No, I'm just kidding, Rich. I'm just doing material about you on the podcast. I know. I was making you seem like you were hard to deal with. Why? Because I really look up to you. I'm intimidated. Honestly, when I was not necessarily the news changed my life. I think I could say that. I mean, later in life, discovering Andy and Conan and Greg's shows, had a great impact on my life. And I derived pleasure. But when I was watching you, Rich, I was in second grade. In third grade, and it was my first taste of adult comedy. I think between you and the rest of the, not necessarily the news team. So I really have so much to thank you for. Also, I probably did need to take somebody else down because I just told a story about. Oh, you already heard it's already out on the internet. Yeah, I hit the meat section. Yes, holding a roast. Was it dripping? The roast, probably. My mouth was open, though, wide open. Yeah, you could see my fillings. So, yeah, that's why. I'm sorry. It was a little passive-aggressive of me. I apologize, Rich. So, anyway, those are our sandwiches for Super Bowl Sunday. What could be more super than sandwiches that are super stuffed with stuff and some lemonade with iced teaser and lemonade? So, thanks for coming by. Thanks for the inspiration, everybody, and not necessarily the news. And Greg Daniels, Conan O'Brien, Andy Richter for the inspiration. And that's it. Good night. I want to say thanks on Twitter to Jelly Sock and Dustin and Yuri, 10F10. Thanks and good night. F-Bottom Girls for sharing about the podcast. Thanks and good night. Vern, Spoon-Fed Music, thank you for the kind words. Erica S., Ecast, Ecast Still Foxy. Sophie W., thanks and good night. Susan T., reaching out, thank you and good night. Bear Trap Fitness Podcast, thanks and good night. Jastastic, thanks for the Bring Back Entertainer of the Year, love. In these heels, so thank you. Good night. Nugget Illusionoid Podcast, thanks and good night. Alice into the B, one, you know how I do one. Thanks and good night. Andre W, thank you and good night. Creative Wolf, thanks for all the info, thanks and good night. Nikhil, thank you and good night. Teresa A, thanks and good night. Amy S to the H, thank you and good night. Women at Warp, thank you for that info, thanks. Rachel Duke Cafe, thank you and good night. Dan from Save It for the Show, thanks and good night. Steve B, thanks and good night. Judith K, thank you and good night. Snodgers in the coffee shop, thanks and good night. Bucks versus Movie, thank you. Abby S, thank you and good night. Jen P, thank you and good night. Bruce H, thanks, welcome back. Lord Pumpernickel, I can't say that. Go. Thanks and good night. Karina, Allegram, thank you and good night. Christina Icy Wiz, thanks and good night. Sherman Meow, thank you and good night. Sola for Grace, thank you and good night. Orlando R, thanks for putting me in that book. That's really nice of you, Orlando. Thanks. You're totally on it. Thanks, Orlando. Jed from Man Afraid, thanks for thinking of you. Hither came Conan, thanks and good night. Beverly Z, thank you and good night. Triumphant Jen, thanks and good night. Ria Benji, thank you and good night. Amanda Ginger, thank you and good night. Kara Miss Gingy, thank you and good night. Callie B, thank you for the shout out and good night. Babs, be like Babs. What fishy, thank you and good night. Elizabeth Elizabeth MC D to the O to the E to the L to the I, thanks and good night. Daft can't, you can. Daft can, thanks and good night. Preston P, thank you and good night. Thanks and good night. Dara, thank you and good night. Sam Squanch, thanks and good night. And then over on Facebook, Clee Pick to the P, thanks and good night from Australia. Good run, H, thank you and good night. Laura, thank you and good night. Tony, thank you and good night. Tom B, thanks. Sorry podcast didn't work for you, but no problem. You're kind about it. Most people that podcast doesn't work for are not as nice as Tom B. Thanks, Tom. Schlock, W to the V to the D to the M, thank you and good night. Heather G, thank you and good night. Cassia, thank you and good night. Mariah, thank you and good night. Cat N, thank you and good night. Katrina and Lauren and everybody else out there, thanks and good night. Jenny K, thanks and good night. Sandy W, thanks and good night. Susie B, thanks and good night. Leonard B, thanks and good night. Mary M, thanks and good night. Andrea W, thanks and good night. Allie H, thank you and good night. Ben S, thanks and good night. And I think that's it for right now. Thanks and good night, everybody. All right, everybody. This is a week in review, or month in review, actually. This comes at the end of Sleep With Me. And I think from now on, I'll just put it in the bonus feed of Sleep With Me Plus, unless there's like an update that's pressing. So if you're on Sleep With Me Plus, make sure, you can do everything from the main page at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. If you log in, once you go to that page, you'll have access to all of your podcasts from Sleep With Me Plus. You could change your payment method, change your membership, join the Discord. All that happens just on that one page. It's just 2 clicks to add your podcast app. And depending on what tier you're on, you have access to 3 or 4 Sleep With Me Plus podcasts. So make sure to do that. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And if you're listening to the free show, you may have heard me in other messages. We're really looking right now for 1% of listeners to support the show who listen to the free podcast on a regular basis. It'll change the trajectory of Sleep With Me for you and 99 other people. But you also get all the sweet stuff I'm going to talk about. I also encourage the Sleep With Me Plus listeners to have a dedicated podcast app just for Sleep With Me Plus content. And then keep your whatever podcast app you use for your daytime podcasts and just try out a new app. There's tons of great free podcast apps out there. But yeah, I'm going to run through Sleep With Me Plus, what's come out in the past month. I'm going to start with the bonus episodes in the bonus feed on, looks like the last episode that came out was Tea with Bernie. That was April 27th. That's this new series that people really love. Welcome to Scooterville. And that's a Posty special edition episode. Then we had a bonus episode, depending on what the Boar Friends and Boar Besties, where I talk about the video game Space Quest and play it. Then on April 13th, we had another Welcome to Scooterville episode, Underground, Picnic Munch episode. So, and then a Fearless Flyer episode came out at the end of March. So a lot of cool stuff. In May we'll have stuff, and then subscriber summer stuff coming out in the all intro and all night episode podcast for those people, Boar Friends and Boar Besties. We tested out like this new thing without theme music, and got great feedback on that. So thank you everybody that upgraded to an annual pledge or took advantage of that thing we're doing. So yeah, we had all intros come out on May 2nd. An all-night episode came out. That's all night. Wait, it comes out tonight, huh? Today's Thursday that I'm recording this. Yeah, so that comes out tonight, all night. TNG and new idea there. If you listen to that, I think we have one or two more all-night TNG episodes to do. Then we had a couple all-intro episodes come out, May 2nd, April 18th. April 11th was all-night Make Great Pets. An all-night intro on April 3rd. March 20th, and Make Great Pets Part 1 on March 13th. Then the story-only feed and in the ad-free feed, both of those. We had Sushi Go board game unboxing came out last night. Our watch of Bring It On, Part 2, came out on Sunday. And it wasn't until after these episodes were like that I learned that it was, not another teen movie, that the parody part from Bring It On, that the phrase that got stuck in my head is from, it only took 3 different episodes about Bring It On for me to find out. Wasn't in any of the episodes of Bring It On. But a great time to reflect on Bring It On. And I didn't realize that Kirsten Dunst would be like back in the spotlight in a cool way. So cool timing for that. Then we had Alba Salix, episode 3 came out, Fairy Cake Woods. Multiplex, Cuckoo for Cuckoo Clocks, episode 7. Our Matrix crossover with the Novelizers came out April 24th. April 21st was Birds and Buds, which was Alba Salix episode 2. I've been getting a lot of emails of people that really like the Alba Salix content. And again, some people, not every episode's for everybody. And that's usually what happens is, for every 3 emails I get, that's somebody's favorite episode. I get 1 email that's somebody's least favorite episode. That's just kind of the way it works with stuff. That's why we work so hard as a team to invest the time to be able to keep all this selection going and even adding on selections. But if you really believe in Alba Salix, we are paying them to use their content. So consider supporting the show, or being like, okay, let me become an annual supporter, because that's going to enable us to do that. We're doing all 3 seasons of Alba Salix, so as we roll on from here. So then Multiplex episode 6, Bring It On Part 1, and then Bring It On intro. and then the Bring It On intro. So that's everything we did in the past month or so. If you want to support the work we do here, consider supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. If you're not in a position to financially support the show, but you want to support the podcast, there's two great ways to do that. Check out our sponsors, test out a sponsor, test out a free trial, or refer people to the show. We just had 2 people across the 3 referral threshold, which gets them 3 months of ad-free and story-only podcasts. So consider doing that. Thanks so much.